I mean, here is the senior most bureaucrat in the ministry being shunted out, and the ministers say this is none of your business. This is an internal matter for me.
It is everybody's business, Mr. Vinod Mehta. This is everybody's business.
What contempt you have for those ministers, for those bureaucrats.
They have contempt for the rule of law. It's not just for the bureaucrats.
No, but one would have expected them to apply some discretion.
I think
yes, Mr. Mehta.
This is very disturbing, because one of the gentlemen is the grandson of Dr. Radhakrishnan.
Absolutely.
I mean, how do you treat people of such eminence as if they were dirt, and you can say, I can move you from X and I can put you in Y. And as far as this point of putting pliable officers in various ministries, my friend, it's too late for that. There are only 2 months left.
No, but one option.
How does it help the Congress party to have have an urban development secretary?
No, one option.
I mean, if they had a petroleum secretary or a finance secretary.
One option.
I think this is just a lack of nerve. This is the Titanic. This is the Titanic syndrome. The ship is sinking and people are jumping out left, right and center. And the captain has lost all control.
No, but the
captain has lost all control.
Sir, the captain said for 9 years and 9 months that I never had complete control, or people knew he did not have complete control. They felt somebody else had their hand on the steering wheel.
Yes.
Right? On the rudder.
Yes.
Now I'm asking today that the Prime Minister should actually be concerned about his legacy. Ministers are fighting each other. They are openly calling each other names. Health secretaries are being shunted out because they are honest. One secretary says the minister does not behave with me well. A CBI additional director is appointed in controversial circumstances. An option here, I'm just putting an option. One option for Manmohan Singh now is to resign. If he genuinely is unhappy with the situation, he can resign and he can say, let the country have some...
No one better...
Yeah.
He enjoys being Prime Minister.
No one better will come back if he resigns.
No, but one option is you resign.
He enjoys being
who's going to come in his place?
Who cares who comes in his place for 2 months? But the fact is the Prime Minister would have made at least his position clear that, I am unhappy with the way things are going. Otherwise, his legacy...
No, the Prime Minister is incapable of that.
Incapable? What do you think? Mr. Tripathi, should the Prime Minister resign if he disagrees with all this going on?
He has never been a fighter all his life. I've known him for a very long time. But the greatest contribution he's making is by not resigning. Because the person who will come in his place is much worse.
No, anyway, I mean, you can't behave in this situation like somebody who's got, blinkers on. Mr. Tripathi, tell me today.
You got Mr. Tripathi, tell me.
No. Yesterday was I think an anniversary of the Central Vigilance Commission, and top legal experts have said that we are concerned, we are worried. What is happening in this government? That the CVC does not approve the name of the CBI additional director. It's unbelievable. Mr. Tripathi, what is going on in this government? We have a CBI additional director not approved by the Vigilance Commission. And that CBI additional director, Mr. Tripathi, will sit and supervise all cases of corruption. Whereas she has herself not been cleared by the Vigilance Commission. One second.
Entirely...
Yes, Mr. Tripathi. It's a joke.
I entirely agree with Sankarshan Thakur and Vinod Mehta about the respect for the law of the land by any government. That is our position also. As far as the functioning of the government is concerned, the cabinet system, we have to follow the procedure and the constitutionality of the functioning. We can't just say that every cabinet decision was taken like this, like that, like that.
That
is not the situation in the cabinet system of government. And as
But what about your backtracking?
Okay, so Subramaniam Swamy is asking a question. Subramaniam Swamy, yes.
Backtracking on what?
Yeah, what about the fact that you passed a resolution, sent it to the president for signature, and then you did a somersault and withdrew it?
Dr. Swamy seems to have great sympathy for criminals.
What is that? That is no cabinet functioning. It's unheard of in the annals of cabinet functioning.
Yes, Mr. Tripathi.
You have no explanation, it looks like.
No, no, Mr. Tripathi, should the Prime Minister just resign?
No, no, no. What I have. No, no. Why should Prime Minister resign?
I mean, story after story of the government coming apart.
People will give their verdict through the elections.
No, forget the verdict. Forget the verdict.
That I already said.
Our
This
government
is because
is
of lack
responsible.
of coordination that I already pointed out.
Sir, are you saying...
If you don't... You see, Arnab, the problem is, if you don't discuss the issues politically in a coordination committee of a coalition,
so
there will be many political problems, administrative problems.
No, no, that's is that my problem?
A solution.
No, is that my concern? That you could not in 9 years and 9 months.
I'm not saying it's your problem.
No, no, watch it.
May I ask Mr. Tripathi? May I ask Tripathi a question?
Yeah.
Yes. Please.
Commenting on the English of IAS officer of the rank of secretary.
Yeah, yeah.
Is that part of your coordination committee decision? How can you insult an officer in front of everybody? It's unheard of.
Is it even
You should condemn that minister.
Again,
Is it even part of elementary manner?
I do not support any indecent behavior.
No, whatever your problem.
Absolutely uncivilized and
Thank you.
undemocratic.
No. My Gaurav Bhatia and Sankarshan, I'm coming to you.
I express my opinion.
Gaurav Bhatia, Sankarshan, TSR Subramaniam. We have 10 minutes left to the debate. One question I raised is, if the Prime Minister is not in control and does not agree with it, he should resign. He has that option, at least he'll keep his legacy intact. Yes, Gaurav, you were coming in.
Arnab, lack of control is worrisome, but even more worrisome is the fact that this very parliament which legislates has no respect for the law that it legislates. There is this CVC Act and the approval for the additional director is mandatory. That process has to be followed. But look at the way CBI has been made a tool to fight their opponents, to make it a ally of the UPA, and they have scant respect for all these procedures. An affidavit was tampered by the former law minister of this UPA government earlier. So they are reducing CBI to nothing at all. And another point is that this UPA government, what exactly are they doing? If an officer cannot speak in English, is that really a big
so Parliament is on, withdraw support.
Look for qualities of integrity.
No, Parliament is on, withdraw support.
And knowledge.
On a matter of principle, withdraw support. You can have your cake and eat it too. Just because you are scared that the government even now will use CBI cases against Mulayam Singh Yadav. You are worried about CBI cases against Mulayam Singh Yadav.
क्या मारना है?
Yes?
Arnab, I am replying.
I'll give you one more example, Mr. Arnab Goswami.
This government is going out.
No, watch it. No, 1 minute.
ये मरी हुई सरकार है, इसको क्या मारना है?
One more example.
That's no answer. मरी हुई सरकार है, इसको क्या मारना है is no answer. It's no answer. I'm sorry.
Yes.
No.
The people are going to vote out.
No, watch it.
One more example, Mr.
One more example coming from Subramaniam Swamy. Then I'm going to Vinod Mehta and Sankarshan also coming back. Yes, Subramaniam Swamy. Briefly.
The government asked the Attorney General to give an opinion whether there was sufficient evidence to prosecute an IB officer. And the Attorney General said, no, not sufficient, it's only circumstantial. Yet, that was disregarded and an IB officer is being prosecuted in the Gujarat matter of so-called forced encounter.
No, see, the argument being made is bad coordination. Mr. Mehta, if there has been no coordination...
It is bad coordination. If you ask the Attorney General for an opinion and then disregard it, what kind of...
No, but one of the advantages of existing in an anarchy...
I think
is that you can always blame each other.
Is an alibi.
Yes, Mr. Mehta.
This coordination thing is an alibi. I think what has happened is that there is no control at the very top. And let me just say one other thing, Arnab. In all this heat and dust and shouting that is going on in this debate, let us congratulate the Urban Development Secretary for having written such a fantastically good letter and brought it in the public domain and taken a minister of Chidambaram's eminence to task. I think it must have required great guts on the part of that urban development minister to have said what he said, and I think we should congratulate him. If more bureaucrats speak up, our ministers will fall in line.
Well, one bureaucrat takes on Chidambaram, another bureaucrat takes on Ghulam Nabi Azad, but what about that bureaucrat? He's been shunted out. He's a master's in public administration from Harvard University.
But at least this matter is now in the public domain.
Yeah, but what will the Prime Minister do?
Is in the public domain,
What will the Prime Minister do?
Not going to go away.
What will the Prime Minister do, Sankarshan?
Don't expect the Prime Minister to do anything.
Well, that's the sad part. No, then he should resign if he can't do anything.
Arnab, you are asking me as if I am sitting in the PMO and I'm meant to speak for the PMO. God forbid, I don't do any of those jobs, and I cannot treat your question on whether the Prime Minister should resign as anything but just a rhetorical outburst.
Why?
You are talking about the Prime Minister resigning to save his legacy. Arnab, please answer this honestly.
Yeah.
Should he resign today, Manmohan Singh? What would you consider his legacy to be?
Well,
would it be a great legacy?
If
would
he
he be
resigns,
saving something?
No,
I mean, Arnab, this is a rhetorical outburst.
No, it's not a rhetorical question. I'll tell you why. No, it's not. It's a very serious question. No, you asked me the question.
Prime Minister is going out of office in 2 months.
So that's more reason why.
He's not coming back as Prime Minister. He's declared that.
That's more reason.
And he's going in a messy way.
What do you mean?
Going on a messy boat.
Sankarshan, the Prime Minister.
That's not such a happy thing
if
for
the
us
Prime Minister says,
or say.
No, if the Prime Minister says that I have tolerated all of this, I have never believed in it. And to make you believe that I have never believed in it, I will do the following. I will not allow India to have a CBI additional director who is not cleared by the CVC. I will not allow an honest bureaucrat who is fighting against the nomination of a scam-accused man who my minister wants to be removed summarily. I will not be complicit in these crimes. And to the people of India, I say I will not be complicit in these crimes, and I don't care if 6 weeks or 8 weeks before I anyway go away as the Prime Minister of India and go into history, I resign. History will then remember the Prime Minister as somebody who stood up.
Arnab, please wake up from your dreams.
After you've seen the Prime Minister,
please wake up from your dreams.
The Prime Minister office's interventions in the 2G scam, in the coal scam, do you still expect them to say all of this?
Well, I don't know.
I mean, I'm aghast. I'm aghast. We have seen the kind of
next Prime Minister to be any different.
It has been said that I don't answer for the coal ministry. I mean. Why do we have such high expectations
there are some,
now?
No, TSR.
Surely we are talking with a certain background and a certain context.
One minute. When people of the eminence of Vinod Mehta tell me that I am living in a dream, I'm actually tempted to pinch myself. But even if I were to pinch myself, Vinod Mehta, I would simply say this, that it is not unreasonable to expect a Prime Minister to stand up for what is right.
No, I love your dreams. I love your dreams. I wish your dreams come true. But just be a realist.
Well, you know, I'm being a realist. I'm being a realist. We have 3 months of this government left. How many more secretaries will be removed? How many more secretaries will be insulted?
Yeah.
How many more additional CBI directors or equivalents will be appointed? And I know yesterday, I'll tell you what happened yesterday. Yesterday, and a source has told me this, that the man who would have been appointed as CBI additional director was called, and I'm asking the Home Secretary if I'm wrong. Tell me, Mr. Home Secretary, if I'm wrong. Mr. Home Secretary, my information is you called Mr. Pachanda, who would have otherwise been the CBI additional director, to your office. Right? There was a meeting between both of you. Right? In that meeting, you said, listen, we'll appoint you as additional director of the CRPF. So the man who should have been additional director of the CBI is being accommodated and pacified by being made additional director of the CRPF. And a person not cleared by the CVC is going to be a CBI additional director way beyond Manmohan Singh's prime ministership. I mean, this is ridiculous. Is this government, Mr. Subramaniam? If this is government, let there be no government. Is this a government?
Arnab, there has been a huge fall, not today, as I said, we are seeing it now. Now, the Government of India's internal management is now as bad as it is in every state now, with one significant difference. In every state, there is one person in charge. In Government of India, there is nobody in charge. It is kind of a free-for-all and complete decline that is going on right now. And Government of India has to set the example for the rest. So I think that all we can hope is the country has had such a bad 10 years. We are now hoping next 10 years it has got to be far better. There's no choice now.
Well, you know, I don't know. I have also got... I have got, by the way...
That there is a legitimate expectation from Times Now. There is a legitimate expectation that we have from Times Now that whether the PM resigns or not is not the question. The real question is that these three ministers should be made to answer, and they should not be they shouldn't be allowed to be off the hook. So I am hoping that Times Now would definitely get answers from these ministers for these three incidents that you narrated.
We also need answers from some chief ministers. We need some answers from the Prime Minister. I certainly need an answer from the Minister of State in the Prime Minister's office. No, one second. The Minister of State in the Prime Minister's office. We need an answer. Because when we don't give the Minister of State in the Prime Minister's office a platform, he won't speak to us. Now that's no answer. So Mr. Narayan Swamy, we want an answer from you. Mr. Ghulam Nabi Azad, please don't tell us it's not our business. It's the business of every Indian to know why you removed your health
Now,
secretary.
all we can do, all we in the media can do is keep on having debates like this, keep on embarrassing our rulers, showing up all their weaknesses, but I don't think we can do more than that except embarrass them.
Well, I'll only tell you one thing. Right now, I can tell you all these people, our rulers are watching. And I can also tell you this, that we ask those questions and they are giving us all kinds of government sources responses. I am saying tonight, let's not carry a government sources response. The government does not work through sources. In the interest of complete transparency to all those people in the government of India who are asking me tonight to carry government sources information and sending us text messages on that subject, I would like to say not government sources. We want the government, its ministers, and especially its Prime Minister to answer. Not in silence, but in words. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining me on that debate. Thank you.
Have a hope, Arnab.